What's up, you mother fathers? We're back. We're back. I guess it's technically the first Showdown Hoedown for Monday Night Football. We've already done Thursday, and we're doing another one today because Showdown is pretty fun, and there's a lot of strategy to be had. So maybe you should get that strategy from a couple guys that put their money where their mouth is and have a decent production quality, and hopefully entertain you just a little bit. For all of you that don't know, I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit DFS player who is really good at golf and football, and I'm trying to help you, new guy, not suck so bad at this. Because if you don't know, these DFS streets, they're pretty rough. They're pretty rough. And if you are getting into this and picking the wrong contest and not understanding all the plays that maybe a pro knows, then you're probably going to just be pissing in the wind, brother. And we don't want to be pissing in the wind. So if you're wondering, I do this every Monday and Thursday for the Monday Night Football and Thursday night game. And we also, every Saturday night, I do my week-long preview, right? And then don't forget, most importantly, I just knocked a bottle over. Me and John do our breakdown every Tuesday of the slate, kind of a first look at it. So lots of NFL content. I also do college football every Friday night. You should check that out because let me tell you, it's way fucking easier to win at college football than NFL because there ain't near as many sharks over there. A bunch of fucking minnows, actually. And lastly, PGA is back this week, and I'm a golf SOB. So all the golf content, it'll never stop. The PGA is back. We'll have the emergency stream Wednesday. Showdown Hoedown, the flagship of this station, will be back Friday and Saturday. So come check it out. And new guy, if you like the cut of my jib, go like and subscribe because you can't help but notice there's no ads on this channel. And all I want in return is a like and a subscribe. So let's get going. You got to be wondering, what the fuck is this big wheel over this guy's shoulder? Well, let me tell you what the big wheel over the big guy's shoulder is. That is free Millie Maker tickets. Not only do I give away free $20 Millionaire Maker tickets, you get to make the lineup with me and JohnGaltJD, two of the smartest dudes around, I have to say. And any prizes we win, you get half of it, right? So if we win the $1 million, I will PayPal you $500,000. We'll have to work out the taxes, but fuck it. We'll be so excited. We'll get it worked out. So that's what we do. To get into that, all you got to do is simply go like and retweet this show over on Twitter. And if you're like, hey, man, I ain't got the Twitters. Okay, well, I got you, brother. Just down in the comments, all you got to do. And for every one of these things you do, you get another name on there. So some people have their name on there like 5 times. Just simply go down into the comments and tell me who's going to be a bust tonight? Who is the one guy you're definitely not playing that's going to suck tonight? Leave that comment down there. That gets you another name on the wheel. We'll be drawing that Sunday when we're doing the Sunday Sweat. So tune into that where we watch football live and go over strategy. It was a long intro. I'm sorry. John, my man, I got him back on the station again. I guilt-tripped him. He has a life and does productive stuff, but he wants to help break down this slate. How you doing tonight, John? How'd week 1 treat you?
Woo, I'm here. Yeah, week 1 was break even, which honestly is a win at this point. And had actually a pretty decent Rainmakers weekend. So all in all, plus money for the weekend. So can't complain.
To the new guy, you got to explain something you just said. You broke even. That's a big win. What? How could that possibly be?
So if you saw our earlier show, I went back and looked in at the 17 main slates, week 1 to 17 last year. I only won 3 of them. But I still profited $70K on the season.
So you only won 3 of 17 weeks? What a loser. But really,
exactly.
You're playing GPPs exclusively, right? You don't even play cash, right?
Exactly. I did one cash lineup this week because someone on the other side of this call tried to get me to explain how heads work, and I accidentally registered for some. So this was the only week I played cash, and I lost my behind. So
man, when I saw that optimal
GPP
cash lineup, my ass ran for the caves like it's House of the Dragons. I'm hanging out in the caves, you motherfathers. You ain't getting me. Not this week. Barkley and Wan'Dale Robinson, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah, if I had put Dotson for Robinson, I think that lineup would have actually cashed because it was
I can't wait to talk about Dodson. I can't wait to talk about Dodson tomorrow on this because tomorrow when we're breaking down week 2, we're also going to do a little slate review of the previous week, and I got takes on Dodson, but I'll save that for tomorrow. Okay, so tonight contest selection. What all are you going to be playing in tonight, John, and why?
So I'm actually focusing on the King of the Beach qualifiers through Showdown. Every Showdown slate that I'm playing, I'm going to play the King of the Beach qualifiers, and they're pretty cool. They're all 5 max, so even the sharps can't put in more than 5 like they can in some of the other ones. So I'm going to play those. And
this is to get it
up here.
Is it this one? Which one are we talking about here? Where's
the King of the Beach?
I'm looking under satellites.
If you go to the top left where the search filter is by words, just type in beach there.
Son of Beach.
All
right, there we go. So you're going to be playing a lot of those. And what makes these tickets so delicious? Why are they so awesome?
So for me, I like the live qualifiers, and
Mhm.
this is the more affordable version of the football live qualifier because the championship fantasy golf world or fantasy football world championship seats are worth like 60K or something, and these ones are only worth 6K. So it's a little more affordable price point because if you're playing these, I mean, everyone play your own bankroll how you want, but if you're playing these, at least how I'm playing is I want to win multiple seats to the eventual live final aspect of it. So if I wanted to try to win multiple 60K seats, I'd have to put in a serious chunk of my bankroll to
Okay.
go after
Well,
those
not
multiple
everybody's filthy
60K
rich like
seats.
you, John. So I got to ask you, if you're a guy playing a $20 budget tonight, you got $20 set aside. What are you doing with your $20 bankroll tonight as far as playing?
Oh, if I had $20, I'm playing the $5 single entry,
Yep.
or
Well,
probably the $1 single entry, the $3 single entry, the $5 single entry,
here's
and then I
something to.
think there's a $3 three max maybe.
Yeah, there's a $1 20 max right here too. That's really nice.
Nice, yeah,
So
okay, yeah, I'd probably be playing
here's something to
that.
consider, new guy. When you're deciding what you want to play tonight, all these ones he said, the $1 20 max, the $5 single entry, the $3 single entry, this $15 single entry, the bubble screen is really good. When you're deciding this, let the number of guys that you like if there's you're making a lineup and you're like, ooh, I don't like a lot of these plays tonight. I think this team is going to suck, or they're not going to pass the ball, or this guy's going to be too highly owned, and you only like, a handful of guys, well, consider just making 2 or 3 lineups and putting them in those single entries. If you find yourself kind of having two game narratives you like, and you can mix and match about 12 or 13 players into that, well, then go look at the $1 20 max. And for all of you that are like, I play more than $20, all these same rules apply, you mother father. The more guys you like, the more guys you want in your pool, go find tournaments that allow you to play more of those lineups in there and get more exposure to more players, but still have a good payout structure, right? Because I'm just telling you, man, you can go play in that $15, but 40% of all the money going to first, that's a long-term losing play. It really is. You could be really sharp and maybe hit one of those a year and break even, but I'm trying to help people learn how to sustain their bankroll, and if you want to do that and not deposit 7 times a year, well, then maybe consider not playing in it. You got takes, John?
Yeah, no, that's awesome. The $100 single entry is a great tournament.
Oh, I'm in that bad boy.
I think there's a $50 single entry. There's a few of those that are at a mid-tier price point that are single entries that have a good structure.
Is there a difference in strategy in single entry versus the MME as far as your build goes?
No, I think at least I try to still have a more contrarian captain. I'm less likely to play a chalk captain in that one, even if I am getting different elsewhere in that lineup. Just because the chalk captains tend to be uber chalk in single entry because everyone wants to play their one best captain, right?
Yep.
So I would tend to shy away from whatever the overwhelming on slates that have overwhelming favorite captains. I would tend to stay away from those in single entry. But otherwise, no, I'm usually pretty aggressive in my lineup builds anyways, and I'm just as aggressive in single entry.
Gotcha. I'm the same way.
But back to the choice of contest, in full disclosure, I will probably be firing away on that $15 because DGen and I play it pretty aggressively, like I said, and I'm trying to win one of those, not split it with.
But you're playing in a situation that most of these other people haven't. You have a huge bankroll because you've hit really big showdown lineups before, and you've hit big week long. So you can sustain if you max it tonight. That's 2250. You have a big enough bankroll to literally withstand going over on that for an entire season. And we know you won't go over, but worst case scenario, you've already accepted that is a possibility and that you could eat that if that happened.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. And if you're just firing 20 lineups, I wouldn't be doing 20. I wouldn't be putting my $300 that I was going to play into 20 of those lineups. That's a surefire way to be reloading next week.
Absolutely. Just the 20 lineups and the 15 is so bad. Just go play in those $100, $200 single entries or a 100, a 50, and all of those. They're just such a better contest, man. And $300, if you're doing that for 3 showdown slates a week, that's $900. That's a lot. That's going to add up quick, brother. You want to be getting that in plus EV plays.
Yeah, absolutely. I expect to return negative 75% or whatever in my 150 set into that $15.
Right. But
one
once or twice a year,
I'm gonna bank it.
Yeah, you're gonna end up splitting it with 2 people and win $500,000, and then we dance in the streets.
That's the dream. Me and Nerdy Tenor were splitting one until super late in the fourth quarter last season, and our share was $590K or whatever. So that was kind of stupid.
I bet that looks good on the. I bet $590K in green on your DraftKings screen looks pretty good.
That's the second biggest I've had on there. So that looked pretty good.
I've had $1 million on there once. I don't want to brag, but whatever. Of
Exactly.
course, it was at golf. Okay, hey, if you don't know, I have a Patreon. If you want to support this channel or you want to get on our Discord where me and John give out way more information and select videos, go check this out. It's in the details. It's growing every day. Lots of people over there. Not one person has ever disliked it. And more than the pics and more than anything that I could tell you about it is it's just a great community. A lot of cool people over there. Good place to chat. Everyone over there loves it. Look it up if you want. But now let's get to Run the Sims. If you're wondering, this website is Run the Sims. This is what me and John use for our tools. We use other sites, but this is probably our favorite one. If it's something that interests you, they have weekly, monthly, and yearly packages. Make sure to use the code DEGEN75, DEGEN75, and it'll get you 10% off. So go check that out. I swear by it. So let's get going, John. Right now we have the optimals in there, just the generic inputs. So a lot of these numbers, if you're thinking, hey, I'm getting to use this site for free, well, not really, because you're not really using the site. You're just using the generic inputs. What's cool about it is you can go put your own inputs in there and get very different numbers, and that's what makes it Run the Sims. So first thoughts. What's the line on this game, John?
Seattle is a 6.5-point dog at home to Denver.
Okay. And I think the narrative around this game is the Broncos are the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? They got all these great skill position players. They have a solid defense. And now you throw in Russell Wilson, a competent Super Bowl winning quarterback. They're going to be God's gift this year. And Seattle's a dumpster fire that's going to go 1-16. Is that the narrative that exists out there?
That is 100% the narrative out there. And to be fair, I will be playing that narrative in like 25% of my lineups.
Sure. It makes sense. I think you'd be a fool not to at least have some of your lineups dedicated to that. But wouldn't you? I mean, this is the NFL, and this is a big thing I always tell people when you're betting the NFL versus betting college. These are motherfather professionals. You know what I'm saying? Like
100%.
these guys get up to play. Like there's the difference between these teams is not that great. I know everybody's going to think, oh, they're going to blow them out. But, like, this ain't Bama versus, like, freaking Furman. Okay, like there is a legit chance Seattle could win this game. I would say probably at least, a 25-30% chance that they win this game. And it's probably a 80% chance it's a competitive football game. So there is, for everybody that's just going to stack Denver and think that Seattle's going to be a dumpster fire, I feel very, very comfortable going against that narrative because they're professional athletes.
Yeah, actually, one of the narratives I like, or one of the game scripts I like in this is kind of like a grinded out, low scoring game that Denver, comes out amped up, but can't get it done, and then play some stout defense from Seattle and keeps it tight there at home in a loud stadium. Why can't this be like a 10-3 game,
right?
Or 10-7 game?
So when you're talking about that, like, what would be some things you would go in here and change? Obviously, the points scored probably change the pace and drop their plays a little bit. And maybe bump up the rush rates. Is that kind of what you would be doing for both teams?
Exactly right. And I think that's actually like a very likely way that this game could play out is that both teams do just end up kind of grinding it on the ground. We know that's what Seattle will want to do. Pete Carroll, that's the reason Russ isn't cooking in Seattle anymore, right?
Right.
Is they wanted to grind it out. So, with Geno Smith under center, I can't imagine they're going to want to air it out more. I imagine if anything, they're going to want to grind it on more, so I would imagine they lead on Rashad Penny. And to a lesser extent, Travis Homer on passing downs. And so I would imagine those two get a fair amount of work and they try to grind it out. I imagine Denver will want to show off Russ, but there's no reason to say they can't connect. And if you get some quick 3-and-outs, they may quickly make it the Javonte show. Javonte and Melvin are two, like that's one of the best backfield combos in the league. There's no reason they can't just dedicate them to grinding it on the ground if they can't immediately connect through the air. So, I think one of the builds that I would do is exactly what you said: lower the points, increase the rush rates for both teams, and just see what a slog game looks like in my optimal.
Right. Or if you're doing a bunch of lineups, do multiple different tweaks of those numbers like you're doing, right? You do like 4 or 5 different game scripts, and then you change those numbers accordingly, and it's going to give you different sets of players that you should consider, right?
Exactly. And that's one of the most powerful things of this feature in Run the Sims is I can see, like, if the game plays out this way, what do the optimal lineups look like? And you can actually go one tab over and see what the most frequent winning lineups are. It's just super powerful to see, like, the what if this happens, how does this change? And then from there, I can start thinking about how I think games can play out and what's most likely. And then how can I get different than the field? And from there, it's just hoping you put yourself in a position to get lucky, because that's really what Showdown is. Showdown's uber variant. It's a single football game.
So what do you think I think the first question you got to ask yourself, if we're going to go with this, Denver is going to be a favorite. They're really good at running the ball. What do you think the carry split, or maybe not even the carry split, but the backfield split time, because we also want to consider them getting some pass catches, right? Some targets out of the backfield between Gordon and Javonte.
I think Javonte will get first run and will get most of the work. I guess I would say 65% would be my guess. I think it's more than last year, because last year I think they were pretty close to a true 50-50. So I'd imagine that shifts not super significantly, but I would say if Williams gave up 15% of his share and Javonte increased his 15%, that wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
All right. Now, okay, so that's the Denver running back. Now let's talk about their pass catchers. To me, I'm really surprised to see that Courtland Sutton is so much going to be so much higher owned and is more expensive than Jerry Jeudy. Is it do you think there's any offseason biases playing into this, where Courtland Sutton just got hyped up so much and was getting drafted higher in fantasy leagues and in best ball and stuff like that, that maybe he's not going to get more targets than Jerry Jeudy, and Jerry Jeudy becomes a better play?
We have no idea what target share is going to be week one. And so if the field has decided Sutton is the one, I am happy to say Judy's going to be the one, right? And Sutton the two. So week one, we all thought Akers was going to come out and be the lead back for the Rams. And we saw how that worked out. He was the third back. So there's no reason Jeudy can't be the one. Not to mention, I think they're probably intending to be 1A, 1B either way.
I don't love deep wide receiver picks in a game that I'm thinking is going to be kind of boring, sloggy, but I do think that Alberto and KJ Hamler will be on the field a lot. Are you warm to either of those guys maybe getting there?
So I'll steal your stick right now. The one guy I'm definitely playing this week is Alberto.
No, you motherfucker. That's the one guy I'm playing. I'm playing Alberto. There you go, everybody. The one guy that me and John are definitely playing. It's not supposed to be the same guy, but we didn't fucking plan this out ahead of time. So this is what you get, you motherfucker. We're both definitely playing Alberto. There you go. He just went after it. Okay, why do you like Alberto so much?
From everything it looked, well, definitely the other tight end in Denver, the other pass catching tight end is on IR. So you only have blocking tight ends, and Alberto, that people have decided they don't like him because he was super pushed down to ADP in drafts this summer. So I think he's got a chance to bounce back if he's the only one out there in pass catching role. And he got a lot of run in the preseason, which people viewed negatively, but could just as easily be just getting some more reps. And yeah, so I think
they're going to be in a lot. They're going to be in a lot of 12 personnel. For all of you that aren't football nerds, that means there's a tight end on the field, and it's almost always going to be Albert. And here's a rule I've noticed, John. Tell me if you've ever picked up on this rule at fantasy football. You can't score points if you're not on the field. Have you ever noticed that?
That is a really good rule. It is really tough to score.
Yeah, I've noticed. And so if Alberto's going to be on the field, that gives him an opportunity to score. If Alberto's not on the field, he can't score. And I think he's going to be on the field for most of their plays. And when he's on the field and he's running routes, that gives him chances to get targets and to score points. And he's a big red zone target. And I know Russ likes to hit big targets in the red zone. So sign my ass up. I'm in.
And tight ends are also under-owned generally on Showdown slates.
What about Hamlin?
Are
we getting too cute playing a third wide receiver for a team that we're perceiving is going to be grinding it out?
I at least he's priced higher. He's not Isaiah McKenzie priced at 2,400, because I think if he was priced at 2,400, he would be similarly owned. That we saw that 35% or whatever on Isaiah McKenzie on that Thursday night slate. So if he's going to be 16% in the flex, I'll definitely get some exposure to him. So definitely not too cute, I don't think.
By the way,
but if I was playing one lineup, you probably wouldn't.
They have ownership on here, but I found that the generic ownership that they put in here at Run the Sims isn't that great. We provide our own ownership over on the Discord that is an aggregate of multiple sites that know what the fuck they're talking about with some slight tweaks. So I would check out our ownership. We take a lot of pride in the ownership. I am the king of golf ownership, and we're going to try to do that at football also. Is there any punts from the Broncos you like? Well, I guess if we're going to talk about punts, we should talk about kickers. Kicker or defense for Denver? Are you warm, cold? Where are you at on those two?
Yeah, in the slog game scripts, I definitely like both kickers and both defenses. In games where there aren't a lot of points scored, they can easily outscore the guys priced around them that don't get there. So yeah, I like both of them in slog game scripts more so than.
What is the I don't even know if you know these numbers. I'm just throwing you on the spot. But what is the value of the underdog team's kicker getting there? Is it the favorites kicker gets there way more often than the underdog's kicker as far as performance?
I actually do not know. I can make a note to try to find out.
Because like I'm seeing that McManus, and this makes sense because he's from the favorite, is legit going to be way higher owned than Myers, and I think that'll be true. I think he'll be at least twice as owned. But if I have a sneaky script that Seattle's going to play tough, I mean, maybe they win this game 16-14 and they get 3 field goals out of him. And all of a sudden, if I'm getting him at 10% and he's getting me, 13 points in a low-scoring game, that's going to be pretty big. And so maybe
we saw last night.
Yeah, exactly. What was it? Is it Suckup? Who the hell was the kicker?
Yeah, Suckup kicked all the field goals.
Yeah, he had a monster game. Should have played the kicker at captain.
So
I had a really good showdown. I had a good showdown lineup last night. If Fahoku could have caught that big one down the sideline, he dropped it at about the 3-yard line. I think I would have been legit, maybe winning the $100 single entry because I had a good one. But what are you gonna do? I thought I was playing him as the sneaky play. He was like 16% owned. Get the fuck out of here. Okay.
Yeah, he was going to get on the field, and he was so cheap. That was the combination.
I mean, you say he was going to get on the field. I didn't notice him on the field till the fourth quarter, and I was thinking, wow, what a dumb play by me. But, okay, let's flip over. I like Seattle a lot more in this, and there's one simple reason, John. Everybody's fucking projecting. I know what's going to happen. And so when everybody knows something's going to happen, I just play the opposite of it and, hope that I'm right about a third of the time, and it more than pays off. And what I'm playing tonight is give me the Seattle. Give me the Seahawks. Seahawks are going to come out. They're going to play tough. They're going to score points. They're going to move the ball. They're going to slow down Denver. And if I'm going to play that game script, well, then I better get on these Seattle guys. They're going to be low owned and just make sure that I pick the correct ones.
So do you like captaining Rashad Penny in those lineups?
I do. I'm very warm to captaining Rashad Penny. I feel like I like Geno at 8,600, but I don't want to captain him. I feel like he doesn't have a huge upside. I could see a script in which Rashad Penny gets 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 3 catches for 26 yards. I could see a game where that happens.
Easily. Yeah. And they win exactly like you said. They win by 17-10, and it's just a slog.
And then maybe I pair him with the defense for a little correlation. The Seattle defense, maybe they get a pick 6 late in the game, or they sack Russell, or get 3 or 4 turnovers, and they get you 12 points. And I don't mind pairing him with one Seattle pass catcher. I tend to favor Lockett over Metcalf, but that's just because I know Geno Grissom's a little bit more. A little bit more conservative. Not Geno Grissom. That's a former OU player. Geno Smith is a little bit more conservative, and I think that he's going to just get the ball to Lockett. So that's how I'm breaking that tie.
Yeah, I think Lockett's probably a better route runner too, and so I think that helps a weaker quarterback to have someone that's more crisp and precise. But also, it sort of helps to have someone that can just go up there and get the ball like DK, right? So, to the extent you need someone that can go up and get the ball, I think DK is the man that can do that. So, but yeah, I do like pairing him with one pass catcher. And I actually, to your point, you didn't necessarily love him as a captain. I actually am warming to the idea of Geno captain. I need to think through it more. But I do think actually Geno can get there on short rushes. I'm not positive he won't get goal line carries. So.
Well, at 8,600, it's not like he has to have a 25-point game to get there at your captain, especially if the game's lower scoring.
I mean, really, you're just asking to see outscore Penny almost in the scripts that we were just talking about. Mm-hmm. You just need him to outscore Penny if we're assuming that they're most of their work is done through the ground. If Geno outscores Penny, I think he's
all right. What about Noah Fant? Revenge game. Revenge game for Noah Fant.
Speaking of revenge game, I just like Baker last night with Cleveland or last afternoon. If you don't think these Seattle defensive boys don't want to hit Russ, you're crazy.
Absolutely.
They've seen him in a red jersey for how long? 8 seasons or whatever. They want to hit this boy. So just like they wanted to hit Baker yesterday.
Don't forget this game is in Seattle, and I think that matters.
Yeah, anyone that thinks Seattle's just going to turn over and show their belly is crazy. That's not how the NFL works.
Mm-hmm. They're going to be, Seattle's notorious for having the roughest, rowdiest crowd out there, right? So I think it's going to be hopping in there. And if Seattle gets off to a solid start, I'm telling you, man, this game could get very mucked up and ugly, and Russell Wilson could have a long day. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and do what you did. The one guy I'm not playing tonight, I'll probably only do 3 lineups. I'm not playing Russell Wilson. There you go. I'm not playing him.
Ooh, at all.
At all.
In the flex?
My
one guy I'm not playing is Russ captain, but I am still playing him in the flex.
Yeah, not a chance in hell I'd play him at captain, and I guess I could play him in the flex if I just happen to have 11,800 left over, but when I'm looking that there's not a lot of punk guys that I want to play tonight, I can't see myself having 11,800 left over for one of my flex spots.
So does that mean you won't be playing Jared Judy or Cortland Sutton captain?
No, not a chance.
Okay. So I guess
because
high level, do you always pair a wide receiver captain with their quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, well, I say that I played Cooper Kupp the other night at captain, and I think I did some lineups without Stafford, so I guess not, because I could see a script in which he's such a usage monster that he could get there without the quarterback also getting there.
That's exactly right, and that's exactly what I was going to say. Is it's not quite a hard and fast rule; it's like an almost hard and fast rule for me.
You got to consider if they're usage monsters. I don't think Sutton, Judy, Albert O, or Hamler. Obviously, I think that they're going to all get some targets. So none of them are target monsters. So if I were going to play any of them, I would need to pair them with Wilson. If I'm playing one of them as my captain, I probably need to have Russell Wilson in there.
I agree.
Yeah, but if you have a target monster, then you don't have to. Okay, so last thing, defense and kicker from Seattle. I'm very warm. If I'm playing this script, which I've already decided that's the script I'm going to play because I don't think many people are going to play it. I'm going to go, make my own Sims here in a minute, and it's going to be like Seattle 17 and the Broncos 14 or something like that. I'll do something really low like that, and I will increase the rush rates, especially for Seattle, and then I'm going to run the Sims. I think I'm going to end up seeing that the Jason Meyer, the kicker, and Seattle's defense are probably pretty viable plays.
Yeah, I'll see you at the top of the leaderboard, my man, because I'll be doing the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's just we're all guessing, and if we're all going to be guessing, let's play a script that could play out. Anytime.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be one of my scripts. And I think I'm leaning towards playing 3, which is Denver blowout, Seattle kind of in a slog, but a Seattle win, and then Denver winning on a close, high-scoring game.
Yep. And everybody, there's a chance Russell Wilson goes out tonight and throws for 325 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they win by 17 points. And I thought that, bro, I'm just playing a script. I'm not saying it's going to be right. I'm saying there is a chance it's going to be right. And if I am, no one else is going to be it. Well, very few people will be on that script. And now I'm just playing a few hundred people to win massive amounts of money instead of 10,000 people.
That's how you win Showdown. Yeah, and anyone building Showdown lineups, like I don't care how, what your script is, but you should be building from a script first. You need to be thinking about how the game is going to play out and build from there. Showdown isn't something where you can just throw numbers in an optimizer and run. You need to be thinking through how that lineup actually gets there.
Don't just go pick 6 guys that fit into a lineup just because of their salaries, right? Pick 6 guys that fit into a lineup with their salaries that would all be correlated in a similar game script. This is what you got to do. This is a lot. So many, I would say over 50% of people make their Showdown lineups and give no consideration to the correlation of the players that are in their lineup.
Yeah, they just don't make sense of how these players would ceiling together.
Absolutely. So I think that's it. I've given my one guy I'm playing, the one guy I'm definitely not playing. Who's the one guy you're definitely not playing?
Definitely not playing Russell Wilson captain.
All right, so we have the exact same guys. I don't know if that's a good sign, but it is what it is, you motherfather. I'm going even ballsier. It's easier for me because if I were doing 150 lineups, I would have to have some exposure to Russ. But I'm telling you, I think I'm just going to play in all the medium to higher dollar single entry shit tonight, and in that, see you bye, Russell. See you bye. Not going to do it. Anything you want to add to this before we get out of here? We're almost under 30 minutes. We might achieve our goal here.
No, this is perfect. This is a good conversation. I think anyone that wants to play Showdown should at least listen to some of the general points. You don't necessarily need to listen to our picks or our game scripts, but listen through the thought process and how we approach Showdown. That's helpful even if you don't like our game flow.
You hear that, new guy? You make your own fucking picks because we don't give picks here, okay? That's what we don't do. If you ever want to be successful at DFS, I swear by this, you do it on your own. You make your own picks. You be responsible for your picks, okay? Don't fucking listen to stupid tout sites. Anybody that gives you picks, just run. Don't take it. You make your own picks. Maybe use their strategies, use their ideas, but you make your picks. You make your lineups. It's your money. All right, that's it. Hey, remember, in the comments, go tell me who is the one guy that is definitely, what do we say? I think I said the one guy that's definitely going to be a bust tonight. For me, that's going to be Russell Wilson. I'm putting it in the comments. So go put that down there. That'll get you a name in this drawing. Also, go like and retweet over on Twitter. That'll get you another name in the drawing. And then you get to make a Millie Maker ticket with me and John and ship it. Okay, so let's go. I have enjoyed you being here. Be looking out for us tomorrow. We will be doing week-long preview. And then maybe Thursday, I can shame him again 3 times in a row to come back and do these. I appreciate you guys being here. I hope you kick some ass tonight. I hope you come check out the Discord. I hope you enjoy my outro.